Welcome back to Relationship Reboot. You know, folks, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Relationships take work. You don't just clock in and clock out. It's a 24/7 commitment, and sometimes you need a little tune-up. If you're watching this, it's because you care about making your marriage stronger and more fulfilling. Whether you've been married for a few years or several decades, there's always room for growth. Today, we're diving into some proven tips to nurture a happier, healthier marriage. So let's get started. You know, folks, I hear it all the time in my practice. He doesn't listen, she doesn't understand me. These are common complaints that many couples bring to therapy. It's a feeling of being unheard, of being misunderstood, and it can create a significant rift in any relationship. When one partner feels like their words are falling on deaf ears, it can lead to frustration, resentment, and a sense of isolation. It's almost as if they're speaking different languages, unable to bridge the gap that has formed between them. It's like they're living in two different worlds, talking past each other. Each person is so caught up in their own perspective that they fail to see the other's point of view. This disconnect can make it seem like they're miles apart, even when they're sitting right next to each other. The room may be filled with words, but there's no real communication happening. It's a lonely place to be, feeling like your partner is a stranger. But let me tell you something. Communication is a two-way street. It's not just about talking, it's about listening, understanding, and responding. It's about creating a dialogue where both partners feel valued and heard. This kind of communication doesn't happen by accident. It requires effort, patience, and a willingness to truly engage with each other. It's about building a bridge of understanding that connects two hearts and minds, and it starts with active listening. Active listening is more than just hearing the words that are spoken. It's about being fully present in the moment. It's about giving your partner your undivided attention and showing them that what they have to say matters to you. It's about being open and receptive, without judgment or interruption. This kind of listening creates a safe space where both partners can express themselves freely. I'm not talking about just hearing the words, but truly absorbing what your partner is saying. It's about understanding the emotions and intentions behind the words. It's about recognizing the feelings that are being expressed and responding with empathy and compassion. When you listen in this way, you're not just hearing the words, you're connecting with your partner on a deeper level. Put down the phone, turn off the TV, make eye contact, and really focus on them. These small actions can make a big difference. They show your partner that you're fully present and engaged in the conversation. They demonstrate that you value their words and that you're willing to set aside distractions to truly listen. This kind of focused attention can strengthen your connection and build trust in your relationship. Now, active listening isn't just about keeping quiet while the other person talks. It's about engaging with what they're saying. It's about showing that you're interested and that you care about their perspective. It's about being an active participant in the conversation rather than a passive observer. This means asking questions, offering feedback, and showing that you're invested in the dialogue. It's about engaging with what they're saying. Ask clarifying questions. When you ask questions, you show that you're paying attention and that you want to understand more deeply. Questions like, "Can you tell me more about that?" or "How did that make you feel?" can open up the conversation and encourage your partner to share more. It's a way of showing that you're not just hearing the words, but that you're truly interested in their thoughts and feelings. Reflect back what you hear them saying to make sure you understand. This technique, known as reflective listening, involves paraphrasing what your partner has said and repeating it back to them. It's a way of checking that you've understood correctly and showing that you're engaged in the conversation. For example, you might say, "So what you're saying is," or "It sounds like you're feeling." This not only helps to clarify any misunderstandings, but also shows your partner that you're truly listening. "So, what you're saying is," or "It sounds like you're feeling." These phrases can be incredibly powerful in a conversation. They show that you're not just hearing the words, but that you're trying to understand the underlying emotions and intentions. They demonstrate that you're engaged and that you care about your partner's perspective. This kind of reflective listening can help to build trust and deepen your connection. When you truly listen, you create a safe space for your partner to open up, to feel heard, to feel validated. This kind of listening fosters a sense of security and trust in the relationship. It shows your partner that you're there for them, that you're willing to listen and understand. It creates an environment where both partners can express themselves freely and honestly, without fear of judgment or rejection. And that's the foundation of a strong, healthy connection. A relationship built on active listening and open communication is one where both partners feel valued and understood. It's a relationship where both partners can grow and thrive together. It's a relationship that can weather the storms and challenges that life may bring. When you make the effort to truly listen, you're building a foundation of trust, respect, and love. You're telling them, without words, you matter to me. Your thoughts, your feelings, your experiences, they all matter to me. This unspoken message can be incredibly powerful. It shows your partner that they're important to you, that you value their perspective, and that you're willing to make the effort to understand them. It's a way of showing love and respect, and it can strengthen your bond in profound ways. What you have to say is important. Every word, every feeling, every thought, it all matters. When you listen with your heart, you're telling your partner that they're valued and cherished. You're building a connection that goes beyond words, a connection that's rooted in understanding, empathy, and love. And that, my friends, is the foundation of a strong bond. Let me tell you something, folks. Relationships are like a dance. Both partners need to be in sync, moving together in harmony. But what happens when one person is always tiptoeing around, afraid to step on the other's toes? Bottling up your feelings is a recipe for disaster. It's like trying to dance with a stone in your shoe. Sooner or later, the discomfort will become unbearable and you'll have to stop. It's like ignoring a leak in a dam. Sooner or later, it's going to burst. The pressure builds up, and when it finally gives way, the damage can be catastrophic. You've got to create an environment where both of you feel safe to express your thoughts and feelings, even the uncomfortable ones. This means setting aside time to talk, really talk, without distractions. And that means being honest, even when it's difficult. Honesty is the foundation of trust, and without trust, a relationship cannot thrive. It's about being vulnerable and open, sharing your fears and hopes. Look, I'm not saying you need to criticize each other constantly. Constructive feedback is different from constant criticism. It's about helping each other grow, not tearing each other down. But if something's bothering you, address it directly, but with kindness and respect. Don't let resentment fester. Resentment is like a poison that slowly erodes the bond between you. Remember, communication is not about winning an argument or being right. It's about understanding each other's perspectives and finding common ground. It's about listening as much as it is about speaking. It's about understanding each other's perspectives and finding common ground. When you truly listen, you show that you value the other person's feelings and opinions. It's about working together as a team. A strong relationship is built on mutual respect, shared goals, and the willingness to support each other through thick and thin. So no more walking on eggshells. Embrace open, honest communication and watch your relationship flourish. Chapter 3. Honesty and Transparency, the cornerstones of trust. Let me tell you something, there's no room for secrets in a marriage. When you start hiding things, even if you think they're insignificant, you create a barrier between you and your partner. It's like building a wall, brick by brick, until one day you realize you're living on opposite sides of it. I've seen it time and time again. Those little white lies, those things you sweep under the rug, they always come back to bite you. It might start with something small, like not mentioning a minor expense or a forgotten errand, but these small deceptions can snowball into larger issues. Before you know it, trust is eroded, and rebuilding it can be a monumental task. Trust is built on honesty, and transparency is the mortar that holds it all together. When you're transparent with your partner, you're showing them that you value their trust and that you're willing to be vulnerable. This vulnerability is a strength, not a weakness. It's what allows you to connect on a deeper level and to understand each other's true selves. Now, I'm not saying you need to share every single thought that pops into your head. We all have our private musings and fleeting thoughts that don't necessarily need to be voiced. But when it comes to the important stuff, your finances, your health, your feelings, honesty is non-negotiable. These are the foundations upon which your relationship is built, and they require a solid base of trust to thrive. When you're open about your financial situation, you avoid misunderstandings and potential conflicts. Money can be a major source of stress in a relationship, but if you're both on the same page, it becomes a shared challenge rather than a divisive issue. Similarly, being honest about your health allows you to support each other through difficult times and to celebrate the good times together. When you're open and honest with each other, you create a deeper level of intimacy and connection. This intimacy isn't just about physical closeness, It's about emotional closeness, about feeling safe and secure in your relationship. It's about knowing that you can be your true self with your partner, without fear of judgment or rejection. You build a bond that can weather any storm. Life is full of challenges and unexpected twists, but when you have a foundation of trust, you can face them together. You become a team, stronger and more resilient because you know you can rely on each other. This is the true power of honesty and transparency in a relationship. It creates a partnership that can endure anything. Chapter 4. Date nights. Keeping the spark alive. Look, I get it, life gets busy. Work, kids, errands, it's easy to let romance fall by the wayside, but let me tell you something, making time for each other is crucial. Date nights don't have to be extravagant. It's not about how much money you spend, it's about the quality time you spend together. Put the phones away, disconnect from the outside world, and just focus on each other. Reignite that spark. Remember what you love about each other, laugh together, talk, reconnect. Chapter 5. Compliments, little gestures, big impact. You know, folks, a little appreciation goes a long way. We all crave validation, to feel seen and appreciated by our partners. Don't let those opportunities slip away. Notice the little things your partner does, and acknowledge them. Tell your wife how beautiful she looks in that dress. Let your husband know how much you appreciate him fixing that leaky faucet. A simple compliment can brighten their day and strengthen your bond. It's about making each other feel valued, cherished, and loved. Outro. Building a love that lasts. A successful marriage isn't built in a day, but with patience, effort, and a little love, it can truly thrive for a lifetime. Remember, it's the small things that often make the biggest difference. Be kind, communicate openly, and never stop showing each other just how much you care. Thanks for watching, and here's to a stronger, happier, and more fulfilling marriage.